officially started. Got two trees here side by side. Might be able to string up a ridge pole and have a nice little quick shelter. All the pokies out. We don't like pokies. It's all down. Fill in the holes. I just had a little visit from a raccoon just over there. He got pretty close. He's pretty curious. So I keep popping my head up to see if he's still there, but I think he's gone now. I scared him. I have a feeling that raccoon is going to visit me tonight. I've got a pretty good piece of real estate here. If I was in a windy spot, I would put up a heat shield, a barrier, and that would reflect the, wow, that would reflect the heat. The eagles are really singing. Sounds like a jungle in here. We're going to look for some more poles here. Build up this bed first and then get ready to make this into a more permanent structure. And you can see the canopy on the hemlock. That is definitely shedding a lot of rain before it even comes down to the shelter here. Then on the shelter, of course, we have hemlock branches on that. It's just a really good system, and that's very comfy. Nice that it's up a little bit higher than this ground here. I could even dig this down a little bit more. But once I had an A-frame here, that would actually be great because then I could stand up. So I think I might do that. Well, it doesn't need to come out that far, so it's just going to come out like that, and we're going to have an A-frame like that, and then branches on top of it, just like this roof has. Ridge pole on here. Got some spruce roots growing in this rotten log from this big tree here. These make excellent cordage for tying things up. I could tie this ridge pole on here with this if I wanted to, and it would be as strong as anything. Okay. So we'll just stick that, and that'll keep that from slipping back and forth, right, once we have that tied. So we're just weaving these in and out, making the roof stronger every time we put a bunch of these dead branches in here. And that's going to be the basis for our roof. I've been trying to perfect the art of shelter making. By that I don't mean making a perfect shelter. I more or less mean developing the ability to adapt to whatever resources are available and come up with a creative solution. And this really is probably one of the most important assets that you will have when you're surviving is, you know, a good shelter. Here's as far as I've gotten. It's looking pretty good. I'm just going to put some fresh hemlock boughs on there. At the top here, I'm just crisscrossing these boughs now to get the ridge of the roof, seal that up, keep as much leakage out of there as we can. And then I'm going to cover in this outside edge as well. Here is the finished shelter. And it's bigger in there than it looks. This will keep the wind out, most of the rain off, and as it stands right now, I think this is a pretty sturdy shelter. Next thing that we're going to do now that we have a shelter here is I really would like to build this bed up a little bit more and maybe put some logs here to retain all of this. Okay, I think that is going to do it. And it would be a small fire if I had one in here. I wouldn't want it to get too high and start catching all these things on fire. And so that you could start making a big wood pile right here and just add your wood to the fire. It started getting cold out in the winter time. I would start blocking off sections of this front part here and make a door, beef up these branches and these boughs. I would just start loading it on and get that material nice and thick to retain the heat. I can sit here, got lots of headroom, tend to my fire, cook something. I'm pretty pleased with it. I always learn something from these experiences, and this is why I like to get out here and do these things. It's always good to hone your skills and understand more about your surroundings. Bye for now.